بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Inshallah, we are going to continue the Q&A with regards to the rules of women from the annex of Manasik al-Hajj in Arabic of Ayatollah al-Uzma Sayyid Ali Sistani Damadullah. So if we go to question number 12, now question number 12 is a bit different than the scenario we have been discussing. The scenario we have been discussing that a woman who intended to perform Hajj, that means she was able to, istata'a, she was able to from every aspect. When we say able to, what does that mean? That means that she is able to perform the manasik al-hajj of umrat al-tamattu and hajj al-tamattu. That means she is able to do umrat al-tamattu, hajj al-tamattu. But when she arrives in Makkah or she's in her way, she had this knowledge that it either is going to be 2-3 days and then she will be released for relief from her monthly period, or she was in monthly period and she knows once she arrives Makkah, after a few days she'll be relieved, or after the ihram or before the ihram. Somehow she did not have knowledge that she will encounter the entire period, monthly period, entire time of Umrat al-Tamattu. So if that's the case, where in certain cases the Umrah was the Umrah al-Tamattu ihram was converted to Hajj al-Ifrad, or after the ihram she had an option to continue Umrah al-Tamattu or Hajj al-Ifrad. If she continues Umrah al-Tamattu and she doesn't have time, then she can do her her tawaf and Salat al-Tawaf qada. Those things we mentioned. This scenario of question number 12 is no, she knew ahead of time that she will not be able to perform Umrat al-Tamattu due to her monthly period. So what does that mean? That means she has a preemptive knowledge that inability to perform Umrat al-Tamattu, that in a preemptive knowledge of inability to perform Umrat al-Tamattu is something which might affect her ability to perform Hajj, istita'a. Okay, like for example, if she is not able to perform Umrah al-Tamattu, that means she is not able to perform the Hajj al-Tamattu, because we said that Hajj al-Tamattu depends on Umrah al-Tamattu, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said دخلت العمرة في الحج هكذا. They both got into each other. So if this is the case, then there is a problem. Some scholars might say, no, the same ruling applies. Some scholars might say, no, she can't perform Hajj because her istita'a is taken away due to the knowledge of having inability or to be in the state of purity from metaphysical impurity, which is the monthly period. So now, in that case, what will happen? In that case, as I said, some scholars said no, she's not mustati', she shouldn't be going for Hajj. Others, they said no, it's okay, she can go, and that she can convert it to Hajj al-Ifrad. So they asked Sayyidi Sistani this question. Question number 12. هل تنقلب وظيفة المرأة إلى حج الإفراد? Does the responsibility of a woman convert to Hajj al-Ifrad, like from Umrah al-Tamattu to Hajj al-Ifrad? When? إذا علمت في بلدها, if she had knowledge from her hometown, she had realized from her hometown, يقين, علم, بعدم تمكنها في هذا العام من أداء عمرة التمتع. She will not be able to perform عمرة التمتع this year. Why? من جهة ضيق الوقت, because the time frame between Umrah al-Tamattu and Hajj al-Tamattu is very short. Like they will be arriving in Makkah 8th Dhul-Hajj, 9th Dhul-Hajj, they will be going for Hajj. Okay, the time is very short. I mean, if she comes ahead of time, she comes 1 week ahead, she comes 10 days ahead, or in enough time for her to be relieved from her monthly period and perform her ghusl and tawaf and all those things. She had that kind of knowledge or possibility, but now she had knowledge otherwise. No, the time is very narrowed. We barely will have 1 or 2 days in Makkah. And if and I'm going to encounter my monthly period on that day, because she knew that she has this precise, because some women, they have this precise day, precise day, precise date. Every month they know that this is the day where I'm going to encounter. This is called ada waqtiya. If you have gone through the rulings of monthly period, this is called those women who has the specific time period where they encounter haid. You know that there's ada waqtiya. Women, they have a specific time, but their days duration might become lengthier, shorter. So that's called ada waqtiya. Other one, no, she doesn't have a specific date where she encounters the monthly period, but her monthly period is precisely amount of days, like 4 days. Every month she has 4 days. That's it. Fourth day, done. Very precise number of days. So she's called fixed of duration. So one is fixed of time, or a fixed of date, fixed of duration. And the third one is the one who is, mashallah, management, organized, the whole system is organized. Specific date and specific duration. So that's the third one. So anyhow, she knew that the time is not enough. I mean, when she will arrive, and she might get into the shock and awe of spirituality and hyperbolic phase of, and then she might, oh my goodness, and she's now in the monthly period. She knew that that is her date, and the minimum monthly period is 3 days, not less than 3 days, and they're going to go there for 2 days or one day, or even 3 days, and she knew that she's going to get into the period the next day because that's her date. In all these cases, shortness of time and encounterance of the monthly period. She has knowledge. So Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah says, Mahallu Ishkal, to convert Hajj al-Tamattu to Hajj al-Ifrad, Umrah al-Tamattu to Hajj al-Ifrad, knowingly from the hometown that she's going to encounter, that's problematic. I mean, because some scholars, they said she's not mustati anymore. She knows that she will not be able to perform Umrah al-Tamattu. That means the istita'a is gone. But Sayyidi Sistani has hesitation. Did the istita'a go away or not? He said, Mahallu Ishkal. Mahallu Ishkal, as I said previously, obligatory precaution. Obligatory precaution means that if there's another marja in the line of A'lamiyya after Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah, she can refer to that marja and consider her Hajj, convert her Hajj to Hajj al-Ifrad. As I said, some might say no, some might say yes, it's okay. فلو أتت بحج الإفراد, if she would perform Hajj al-Ifrad, لم يجز لم يجزها ذلك, it will not be sufficient for her. Okay, it will not be sufficient for her, and the Hajj al-Tamattu will not be able to, the Hajj, it will not be substitute for Hajj al-Tamattu. Hajj al-Tamattu will be on her shoulder. She has to come next year, perform Hajj al-Tamattu on the basis of obligatory precaution. What if next year also she has the same problem, the year after? Because the month of, she has fixed date. Month of the Hajj moves around the calendar. So 1 year she might encounter days of Hajj in her days of purity. Khalas, go that year. So the Hajj will be obligated upon her, but the obligation would be shift to the year in which she will not encounter such circumstances. Question number 13. Okay. So the questioner asks that you considered the situation to be problematic. What situation? Is the situation in which the situation in which قد استشكلتم في استنابة المرأة. You considered إشكال, again, obligatory precaution. You considered problematic that a woman designates someone in the tawaf of Umrah al-Mufrada and the Salat. So now we are talking about not Umrah al-Tamattu, Umrah al-Mufrada, the one which annually, anytime a person can go. So you consider problematic that a woman delegates someone or represents someone to do tawaf of Umrah al-Mufrada and its salat on her behalf with her advanced knowledge, okay, with her prior knowledge that she knew before entering the ihram, that she will not be able to she will not be able to perform her umrah by herself. Why? Because of the shortage of time. Why? In Umrah al-Mufrada there is no shortage of time. No, because the caravan is not going to wait for her. Everybody will leave and she has come with the caravan. Okay, so she knew before entering the state of ihram that the caravan or those people whom she came with, or the caravan will not wait until she is relieved from her monthly period. So that is like having shortage of time. So say the Sistani said that then it's problematic that she delegates someone and she knows that she's going to enter that state. So والسؤال أن هذا الإشكال هل يأتي في طواف حج الإفراد والصلاة أيضا؟ Okay, وكذلك حج التمتع أم لا? So this problematic situation now, she has to refer to another marja to be able to delegate someone, or she should not enter the state of ihram. She should not lock herself in, and she should stay somewhere out of Makkah, not to enter Makkah. Yeah, I mean that's what the ruling is, that if somebody is not going to perform Umrah and is not able to perform Umrah, he knows that, then he should not enter the state of Ihram, because once you enter the state of Ihram, you unlock your Ihram inside Makkah after doing the Sa'i between Safa and Marwa. So now here the question is that does this rule apply, or does this ishkal, does this problematic condition or problematic situation apply in the with regards to tawaf of Hajj al-Ifrad and Hajj al-Tamattu, or no? That means if she knew before entering the ihram of Umrah al-Tamattu or ihram of Hajj al-Tamattu or ihram of Hajj al-Ifrad, that the time is short and people are not going to wait, and the caravan would leave and she will not be able to perform the umrah and things by herself, tawaf and salat by herself. So Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah says that no, this problematic situation does not apply in that condition. Okay. Um, the thing is that she had knowledge before entering the state of ihram. The previous mas'ala, we remembered, she had knowledge in her hometown. That means she shouldn't be leaving. But once she's there and she encounters the monthly period, we explained the rule that before the ihram, and after the ihram, before the tawaf, all those things we have mentioned previously. So this ruling is not about knowing that she won't be relieved from her monthly period. Okay, the knowledge in hometown. This question number 13 is looking مع علمها المسبق قبل الإحرام. Before entering the state of ihram, she knew that they are, so she's somewhere in the way or somewhere. But the question number 12, no, she was in her hometown and she had the knowledge that she will not be able to complete. That's the difference between these two rulings. And the other difference, that rule talks about Hajj and this rule talks about Umrah, Mufrada. And to apply this rule upon the situation of Hajj al-Ifrad or Umrah al-Tamattu. Hajj al-Tamattu, he says no, it's not going to be applied because this knowledge was not in the hometown. Question number 14. A woman in her monthly period, she would delay her tawaf and the salat of tawaf of Umrah al-Tamattu until, if she's not able to, obviously, until she's done with the manasik al-Hajj. That's what we said, that if it's Hajj, Umrah al-Tamattu is because, there was an option either to change to Hajj al-Ifrad or stay in Umrah al-Tamattu, do the sa'i, do the taqsir, and afterwards, after the A'mal of Hajj, she performs the tawaf and the salat al-tawaf once she's relieved from her monthly period. The question is, will she be doing qada of tawaf of Umrah al-Tamattu and the salat of Umrah al-Tamattu in the state of Ihram or no? Before, like after exiting the state of Ihram of Hajj. Remember, she's in Hajj, she's in the state of Ihram. So in Mina, after pelting the big pillar of Shaitan, and after sacrificing, she does taqsir and she exits the state of Ihram. So should she stay in her state of Ihram until the qada tawaf of Umrah al-Tamattu and qada salat of tawaf of Umrah al-Tamattu is done? But then that is irrelevant because that was qada of Umrah al-Tamattu. And this is the ihram of Hajj al-Tamattu. So these two ihrams are different. So let's see what the Sistani has to say in this. He says, إذا أتت بمناسك منى يوم العيد, if she performs the manasik, the rituals of Mina. Remember rituals of Mina? What are the rituals of Mina, Sayyidina? Min Rami Jamrat al-Aqaba, the big pillar of Shaitan. He says that if she performed the rituals of Mina, which are pelting the big stone of Aqaba, 7 stones. Okay, so pelting the stones to the big pillar of Aqaba. وَالذَّبح, and the sacrifice, slaughtering the sacrifice, and taqsir, clipping off the hair. فَقَدْ أَحَلَّتْ مِنْ إِحْرَامِهَا. That means she exits the state of ihram. She's no more in the state of ihram. ما عدا what? Except, because she can do whatever except for a few things. If people in Hajj, in the ihram of Hajj, once they do taqsir or shave off their head, everything becomes halal except for perfume and sexual entertainments. So he says she would exit her state of ihram except for few things she'll still be locked into. So what are those things, Sayyidina? Except for the istimta'at al-jinsiyya, the sexual entertainments, obviously the halal. What tib? and perfume. Because once she finishes her tawaf of Hajj, the salat of tawaf and sa'i, her perfume will be, she can use the perfume. And then after that, tawaf nisa, the private entertainment becomes halal. And according to Sayyidi Sistani, besides these two, sexual entertainments or private entertainments and perfume, it is also the hunting, وكذا الصيد على الأحوط, on the basis of obligatory precaution. فتأتي بطواف العمرة. So now she is done shaving, but she has not done the tawaf of Hajj and Safa and Marwa of the Hajj and the tawaf al-Nisa of the Hajj. She has not done these three things. So can she do those things? He says yes, she has to do that before her tawaf of Hajj, because this is qada of the previous stage. فَتَأْتِي, after she is done with amal of Mina, three things of Mina, the pelting the stone to big shaitan and the sacrifice and the exiting the state of ihram by clipping of her hair, she comes and performs. فَتَأْتِي بِطَوَافِ she comes and performs the tawaf of Umrah, which the qada, Umrah al-Tamattu', وَصَلَاتِهِ, and the salat of Umrah al-Tamattu'. So فتأتي بطواف العمرة وصلاته في هذا الحال, in this case, قبل الإتيان بطواف الحج وصلاته, before performing her tawaf of Hajj and salat tawaf of Hajj, before. So qada needs to be done before, and after that after that the ada is done. The whatever she is required for Hajj is done after performing the qada. So it is like after rituals of Mina, she goes to Mecca, she does her qada of Umrah, tawaf of Umrah and salat of tawaf of Umrah al-Tamattu'. After that, she does the sandwich, tawaf of Hajj, salat tawaf of Hajj, sa'i between Safa and Marwa, tawaf al-Nisa and salat tawaf al-Nisa. Okay. Let's see question number 15. So now, say the Sistani has a kind of peculiarity in delegating someone to do. It's the last resort, like last thing he has this. Yeah. So if you can prevent appointing someone, delegate. No, he said, do by yourself. Okay. Wait until you can do whatever it takes. It is not harmful to prevent this monthly period and perform the tawaf and the salat by yourself. So this question says, if a woman had an option between using the medications which prevents the monthly period so that she can perform the tawaf by herself and the salat of tawaf by herself, and the other option would be not to take medicine and the monthly period encounters. So not to take medicine and delegate someone to perform the salat, tawaf and the salat. Okay. فهل يلزمها استعمال الدواء? Then would it be necessary for her to use the medication? Obviously, the general condition is that if it's not harmful, then she takes medication. That's the preemptive condition of using medication. So keeping that in mind, so his answer is يلزمها ذلك مع الأمن من الضرر على الأحوط. It is necessary upon her to take the medication with having the security from any kind of harm or serious side effect affecting her on the basis of obligatory precaution. So she has an option, obligatory precaution? Because the precautionary measure is in you perform it by yourself. If you are able to perform it by yourself, then you do it by yourself. Don't think about, oh, then I'll delegate, then I'll delegate. No, delegation is not like easy. Do it by yourself. Delegation comes in a very serious cases, not just you saw all these Hajj qada. Some scholars might say, okay, if the time is narrow for Hajj, she can delegate someone. No, for Sayyidi Sistani, do it qada, but do it by yourself. No delegation. This much is peculiar. Okay. So, يلزمها ذلك, it would be necessary upon her to use the medication with this, with having the security measures from harm or serious side effects on the basis of obligatory precaution. لو استنابت الحائض, if someone who's in the monthly period, she delegates someone, she delegates a naib. Okay, لو استنابت الحائض للطواف, if a woman who is in the in the uh, in the monthly period, because in Hajj when you go, there are people they follow other maraja, and somehow when you are following say the Sistani, the Madallah, and you don't know his rulings, and somehow they have this fatwa givers in men and women, they're just ready. What's happening? I have this. Okay, just do this. Baba, ask first, whose taqleed are you in? You see the peculiarity between the maraja. Okay. So some wise woman, fatwa giver woman, gave her fatwa. So, you can delegate someone to do the tawaf on your behalf. So she did like that. So the questioner asked, does she have to repeat it? Yes, it is obligatory upon her to repeat it if there is sufficient time left. But she delegated. No, she has to do. Enough time left, she has to do by herself. لو استنابت الحائض, if a woman in monthly period delegates someone to do the tawaf and the salat of tawaf on her behalf, ثم طهرت, after that she becomes pure. I mean, she's relieved from her monthly period. So if she's relieved from her monthly period, is it compulsory? Is it obligatory upon her to repeat the tawaf and salat al tawaf? He says, yes, if the time was enough to do so. نعم مع سعة الوقت. If the time was enough to repeat, yes, she would repeat. Time means after she's relieved from her monthly period, before going to Arafah, if there's a time, she will do it. If no, not time, then after the Manasik al-Hajj, she will do qada. And if after Manasik al-Hajj, there's no, still she is in that monthly period, okay? And the time is not remaining. They are going to travel. The caravan is not going to wait for her. Then the niyabat will be sufficient. Question number 17. إذا أحرمت إذا أحرمت لحج الإفراد بظن أنها لا تتمكن من حج التمتع. If a woman entered the state of ihram with the intention of Hajj al-Ifrad, having the thought, not knowledge, dhan, like probability, she had stronger probability she would not be able to do Hajj al-Tamattu. بظن أنها, having thought or probability that she will not be able to perform Hajj al-Tamattu. That means she will not be able to perform Umrat al-Tamattu. So she converted to Hajj al-Tamattu. You see, so we need to understand that the Hajj Tamattu, we say if somebody is not able to do Hajj Tamattu, that means not able to do Umrah Tamattu. It's a package together. So she was in Miqat. Instead of Umrah Tamattu, she made the intention of Hajj Tamattu. I mean, Hajj al-Ifrad, sorry. Hajj al-Ifrad. Thinking that she will not be able to perform Hajj al-Tamattu. However, ثم تبين لها الخلاف. In Mecca, she realized she was relieved from her monthly period. Then what is her ruling? She had already done the Hajj al-Ifrad. And similar ruling came before that the default Hajj is for her is Hajj al-Tamattu. So whenever she realizes she can switch, we did this ruling, from Umrah al-Tamattu to switch to Hajj al-Ifrad, that's a very restrictive situation because it's not her responsibility from the beginning. The default responsibility for someone staying far away from Mecca or the vicinity of Mecca is Umrah al-Tamattu. So whenever she did accidental, for whatever reason, intention of Hajj al-Ifrad, she can always come back to Umrah al-Tamattu. Vice versa, if and if and then. Okay. So he says, الجواب إذا كان من قبيل الخطأ في التطبيق فلا إشكال. Okay. So if it was from the type, the thought and the intention and all this, إذا كان من قبيل الخطأ, if it was from the type of error in application, she knew the rule. She knew the rule, but she did not know what applies upon her. So he said, then if it was an error in application, because she did her homework. She did her homework. She knew, learned the masail. Now, application-wise, she made an error. So he said, there's no problem. her Hajj al-Ifrad will be okay. إذا كان من قبيل الخطأ في التطبيق فلا إشكال. Because it was all before the entering the state of Ihram. She entered the state of Ihram with the intention of Hajj al-Ifrad, knowing that is going to last longer time. وإلا فالظاهر أنه يجوز لها العدول إلى التمتع والإتيان بطوافه وصلاته والسعي والتقصير. So if it was not an error in application, okay, it was unawareness of ruling or whatever, then apparently it is permissible for her to return or to convert her intention to the Umrah al-Tamattu and to perform the tawaf and the salat of tawaf and the sa'i between Safa and Marwa and taqsir. Khalas, she's relieved. She's relieved from her monthly period. So that means she can convert back to Umrah al-Tamattu, okay? And because she had done the intention of Hajj al-Ifrad, that means nothing to be done while she's in Makkah. But she got relieved. So she can convert to the default one, which is the Umrah al-Tamattu. So the default one is Umrah al-Tamattu. She can convert, she can return to Umrah al-Tamattu as we mentioned. And then perform the manasik of Umrah normally. Tawaf, Salat al-Tawaf, Sa'i between Safa and Marwa, and Taqsir. Question number 18. امرأة حائض أحرمت لحج الإفراد. These are similar questions. Okay. I'm just going to go through it quickly. It's because the main rule, the main theme is applicable upon all these different scenarios. A woman in a state of monthly period entered the state of Ihram for which? Umrah al-Tamattu? No, for Hajj al-Ifrad. باعتقاد استمرار الدم إلى زوال يوم عرفة. Now this is اعتقاد, so there was ظن. This is اعتقاد, that she believing, that means she has a knowledge or she has strong belief, not speculation, believing that the blood discharge or the period will last until the noon time of the day of Arafah. So that's why she entered Hajj al-Ifrad, because she knew that she will not have enough time to perform her عمرة التمتع، ولكنه انقطع في صباح اليوم التاسع. However, the period ceased on the morning of the 9th day of Arafat. And where? In Arafat, not in Makkah, in Arafat. And what else? And she cannot return to Makkah to perform the Umrah al-Tamattu'. Okay? Though the time is enough, okay? Morning till noon, there's enough time. Let's say morning, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, after sunrise. You have until Dhuhr time, 6 hours. You can go to Makkah easily, but coming back to Arafat is going to be a hassle due to the heavy traffic. You might not be able to come back on the on the noon time. So therefore, what should she do? So yeah, enough time. Yeah, but she cannot perform. إذ لا تجد من يوافق على اصطحابها. She might not find someone who could accompany her to Makkah, back to Makkah. People are afraid. Oh my goodness, we're going to go Makkah. We will not be able to come back on time for Arafat before noon. So she doesn't find an escort. And وتخشى الذهاب لوحدها. And she's afraid of going by herself. So what is her responsibility? I mean, someone who especially is first timer, not first timer. People have gone several times, men, for Hajj, and they get lost. I know several people. They go. They every time they go in these days, Mina, because every year the camps are in different locations, and there are like 2 million Hajji, and there's camps of 2 million Hajji in Arafat, and then Mina, and then Makkah. So all these routes, they are not straightforward routes. Okay, some routes they keep curving here and there. I've been through those situations. I've got lost several times, so I'm confident. Uh, so, so she's afraid to go by herself. Okay, and those people who might be escorting are afraid as well that they might get lost. It's many times it's not easy for those people who are regularly going. They get sometimes lost. What if somebody is not regularly going and doesn't know the map of Arafat in their mind, or map of Mina, because it's from Arafat to Makkah, you have to pass through Muzdalifah, you have to pass through the the Mina, and between those curvy routes of Mina, uh, yeah, there is a pedestrian walkway, but it takes about 5 hours from Arafat to Makkah to go walking. Like it reminds me of Mashi in Iraq, like 25 kilometers per night, 5 to 6 hours. Anyhow, let's see. And she cannot do Mashi. It's going to be exhausting. Not everybody is super athletic. So, yes, Sayyidina, can you give us the answer, please? So the jawab is مع تعذر حضورها في مكة المكرمة لأداء عمرة التمتع يكون تكليفها أداء حج الإفراد. With the inability of returning to Makkah to perform Umrah al-Tamattu, okay, then her responsibility will remain Hajj of Ifrad, to perform Hajj of Ifrad. That means no Umrah al-Tamattu, no Umrah. Question number 19. Okay, it's a bit lengthy, so have patience. إذا أخرت الإتيان بأعمال عمرتها إلى يوم التروية، وقبل أن تأتي بها رأت دما فاعتقدته حيضا، فعدلت بنيتها على حج الإفراد. So let's understand the first scenario, like first stage of this scenario, because this she did this and then she did this and she did. So let's see the first thing she did. She delayed her amal of Umrah al-Tamattu. She was not in monthly period. She arrived in Makkah. She just wanted to be in the state of ihram, spirituality, connected to God, because obviously when you're in the state of ihram, many people, they just want to get rid of the state of ihram as soon as possible to be relieved from those restrictions, 25 restrictions. Don't look into the mirror, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. So you are like entangled with these, the 25 things, and you just want to do the amal of Umrah as short as possible, as fast as possible, as right as possible. Get out of these chains and restrictions and entanglements of 25 things. But there are people, no, they love this state. You see, I'm in ihram, khalas, and he's able to preserve himself. Obviously, then he's in the state of spirituality. And if you'll do the tawaf, he'll do the tawaf, the longest one, and because he's enjoying that time. But many times, many people, they're not like that. Okay? There are these few things. Most of the people, they want to just get rid of this wajib, not to mess up with this wajib. You might end up into going to the restroom, bathroom, this and that. Your ihram might become najis. You might become najis. Things might become najis. So they just want to get it done with. You see? Maybe these are hyperbolic spiritual people. When they go to the restroom, they're very careful about every single thing, and their ihram is very carefully secured, and this and that. So it's one of those ladies. She likes to be in the state of ihram. So she entered Makkah in the state of ihram of Umrat al-Tamattu. She delayed. She delayed her amal until the 8th of the Hajj. Okay. She said, I'll just go until 8th of the Hajj and and then after that, so until 8th of the Hajj, Yom Tarwiyah. Yom Tarwiyah is 8th of the Hajj, where people, they pack themselves and go to Mina and then Arafat. وَقَبْلَ أَن تَأْتِي بِهَا. So now she's on 8th of the Hajj. She said, now finally, I'll get out from that spiritual state I was in, the ihram, by performing the amal of Umrat al-Tamattu. And she saw some spots. Okay. She thought that it was the monthly period. Okay. وقبل أن تأتي بها. Before she performs the amal on the 8th of the Hajj, after delaying, she saw some spots. Uh-oh. If this is the period, minimum period is 3 days, and tomorrow is the day of Arafah. فعدلت بنيتها إلى حج الإفراد. Then she converted her intention to حج الإفراد. وحضرت عرفات. And she was present. She went to عرفات. وهناك تبين لها أنه دم استحاضة. There she realized it was not monthly period. It was the non-periodic discharge, istihada, which is state of purity. Istihada is state of purity. It's just you have to do some wudu and some bunch of ghusl based on the type of the istihada, plenty, moderate or minor istihada. So she realized, because it stopped, totally ceased. So less than 3 days, any bleeding is considered istihada by default. Hayd needs to be continuously for 3 days. Excuse me. Monthly period must last 3 days. There can be a little bit intermittent pauses, which does not affect the discharge being monthly period. So this monthly period needs to be at least the next day. She's in Arafat, no more bleeding, finished, stopped. Now what does she do? Same ruling which was previously mentioned. If she's able to go back to Makkah and perform the manasik of Umrah before the noon time of the Arafah, and then enter the state of ihram of Hajj, then she must do that. Okay. If she's able to go back, that's fine. She goes back, but she had converted to Hajj al-Ifrad. Remember, that's not a problem because her default state is Umrat al-Tamattu. She, she, she can, if she can go back, she changes her intention to Umrat al-Tamattu. She performs her Umrat al-Tamattu. She unlocks herself from the state of Ihram. She enters the state of Ihram of Hajj al-Tamattu and comes back to Arafah. But that's not as simple as it sounds. Okay. إذا أمكنها الرجوع, if she can go back to Mecca and convert her intention to Umrat al-Tamattu and perform the manasik of Umrat al-Tamattu before the encounterance of the noon time of the Arafat, and after she completes her manasik of Umrah, she enters the state of Ihram for Hajj, then she must do that. وإن لم يمكن فإن كان اعتقادها المذكور بملاحظة الضوابط الشرعية, and if she cannot go back, okay, and her belief that it is monthly period which made her convert to, remember she saw some spots and she thought it's monthly period and she converted to Hajj al-Ifrad. So that belief, say the Sistani says that the belief which was mentioned, the belief that she believed that it is monthly period, if it was according to the religious measures, okay, and criterias, بملاحظة الضوابط الشرعية. What is ضوابط الشرعية? The color, the time, it was a time, it was a day of period, the color was the color of the blood of period. All these criterias to define what is the monthly period, because monthly period is different than the non-periodic discharge. So if she had made her decision based on the religious measures and criterias which define monthly period, كما إذا, such as what Sayyidina, such as if the blood was in the day of her period. Remember the one who is fixed with date? ولكن انقطع قبل الثلاثة. However, that blood stopped before the 3 days. Before the 3 days, then it is not monthly period. So, excuse me. So if she had done based on the criteria, okay, based on the criteria, if she had done based on the criteria, فالأحوط لزوما أن تأتي بأعمال حج الإفراد. فالأحوط لزوما أن تأتي, خلاص, if her criteria was correct, but she had, then she will, on the basis of obligatory precaution, perform the Hajj of Ifrad, because she made already intention. She doesn't have to go back because she cannot go back. Okay, so خلاص, it's okay. Continue Hajj al-Ifrad. فتحل من إحرامها. And after the performance of Hajj al-Ifrad, she exits the state of Ihram. فإن لم يكن الحج مستقرا في ذمتها ولم تبق استطاعتها فلا شيء عليها. Okay, here the sentence of Sayyid is a bit so the بملاحظة الضوابط الشرعية, we mentioned if the criteria were if it was according to the religious measures and criteria that she judged that it was the monthly period, then but however it did not last, then on the basis of legal precaution to perform the a'mal of Hajj al-Ifrad and exit the Ihram. Good. فإن لم يكن الحج مستقرا في ذمتها. However, if the Hajj was not stuck in her responsibility, that means, what does that mean? It means, remember we mentioned in the chapter of Istita'a that a woman or a man, is able to perform Hajj. This year is able to perform Hajj, does not perform the Hajj. What happens? The Hajj becomes stuck on his shoulder. What does that mean? He has to go next year. But what if he's lost the istita'a? Borrows money, whatever, he will have to perform the Hajj. He intentionally missed the istita'a, missed the ability. He has to make himself able to next year. If not, the year after, the Hajj is stuck on his responsibility. Okay? He's not going to be relieved. So if this lady whose Hajj, okay, was not stuck on a responsibility, then the istita'a has gone away. Okay? She's not mustati' anymore. Then she's not responsible for it. But if she was required to do Hajj previously, then she is responsible to perform the Hajj next year because she was supposed to perform. It was on her shoulder. So there are two types of people who have obligation of Hajj. Obligation based on istita'a, based on the ability. If istita'a goes away, the Hajj goes away. However, the other one is no, a person was mustati', was able to. However, he lost his istita'a due to negligence, due to lack of awareness, all those kind of due to things. So this person needs to come back to Hajj next year. His shoulder, the Hajj's responsibility on his shoulder, he needs to fulfill it, even if he's not mustati'. So these are the two types of obligations. So he mentions there both two types in this very closed statement, okay? So ولكن انقطع قبل الثلاثة في الأحوال. So she performs Hajj al-Ifrad and she exits the state of Ihram. فإن لم يكن الحج مستقرا في ذمتها. Segment number 1. If she was not required to perform the Hajj from the previous, which Hajj? Hajj al-Tamattu'. Now she did Hajj al-Ifrad. So there will be nothing on her. ولم تبق استطاعتها فلا شيء عليها. So she was not required Hajj before. It was her first Hajj and she was able to. But then because of this monthly period, she became unable. And because of this criteria, remember this criteria, if a woman encounters monthly period, the istita'a goes away. Remember the question we discussed, that if before leaving Makkah, in her hometown, she realized that she will be in her monthly period, khalas, Hajj is not obligatory upon her. Falls down because she lost the istita'a, she lost the state in which she can perform the Umrah Tamattu' optionally, voluntarily, by herself, not under compelled circumstances. So the فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنْ, if the Hajj was, if she was not required priorly or to perform the Hajj due to the problem in her previous Hajj or in her previous ability, and she had missed the Hajj, and the and she was the ability was no more there, فَلَا شَيْءَ عَلَيْهَا. There is no problem. There is nothing upon her. Okay? Inshallah, Allah will accept this Hajj al-Ifrat as her obligatory Hajj. If not obligatory, she doesn't have istita'a next year, khalas, she will not do. What if she had istita'a? Okay, then obligatory precaution, she need to do her Hajj al-Tamattu'. What if she was required from the beginning, be due to the mess up in her previous Hajj or mess up in her istita'a she did, then she need to obligatory precaution do the Hajj al-Tamattu'. Okay, so let's sum up this scenario. A woman, she observed the criteria of monthly period. She applied the rule of monthly period. She judged that it was monthly period and it came out to be not monthly period. Okay, it was istihada. So in this case, she will perform Hajj al-Ifrad and relieve herself. So what about her obligation of Hajj? Is she, okay, Hajj is sahih, but is she relieved from her obligation of Hajj, wajib Hajj? The problem is that she did the criteria, religious criteria, and according to that, it was monthly period. So that means her istita'a was gone away. So next year, if she's able to, she'll perform her Hajj as wajib Hajj on the basis of obligatory precaution. If she was not able to, khalas, whenever in future she's able to. However, if this Hajj she was going to perform was something which she was required previously and she had not done it, then she has to come back next year on the basis of obligatory precaution. Get loan, this and that, she has to perform Hajj. Okay. So these are the فَإِنْ لَمْ يَكُنِ الْحَجُّ مُسْتَقِرًّا, if the Hajj was not stuck on her responsibility priorly, and her ability was not, her her ability to perform the Hajj was not there, or she did not have the ability to perform Hajj, then nothing is upon her shoulder. Okay, because the Hajj was not stuck on her. And if it was a new Hajj, her ability got lost due to the application of the criteria and making that decision of monthly period, but it came out to be not to be monthly period. So Hajj was correct, but it was considered Hajj al-Ifrad, not Hajj al-Tamattu, because she did not do Amal of Umrat al-Tamattu, which she was supposed to do. So there's nothing upon her. What if she was, so we will say like this, however, if she was required priorly to perform Hajj due to her negligence or wasting her ability to perform Hajj. Somebody is able to perform Hajj and did not perform Hajj intentionally. He's required next year to perform Hajj even by taking a loan and those kind of things. So, yes. So here we have وَإِلَّا حَجَّتْ. So if this was not the case, if she had the istita'a, she will perform the Hajj next to obligatory precaution. If she did not have the istita'a, however, the Hajj was required from her priorly, she will do the Hajj on the basis of obligatory precaution. So what? I mean, that's too much? No, she can refer to some other marja, okay, who does not require her to repeat her Hajj because she already did Hajj al-Ifrad. وَأَمَّا and the last scenario, however, إذا لم يكن اعتقادها الظني بكون الدم حيضا مبنيا على رعاية الضوابط الشرعية فالأظهر بطلان إحرامها وحجها وعليها الحج في عام لاحق. However, if her decision was speculative about her blood discharge being from the monthly period and did not depend on the religious measures and criterias about the type of the monthly blood of the monthly period, then most apparently, that means there are ulamas and maraja, they might have different opinion here. فالأظهر, that means there's a qawl ظاهر. His qawl is most apparent to me is kiss everything goodbye. Invalidation of her ihram. Invalidation of the Hajj. Both ihram and Hajj were invalid, so she has to perform the Hajj from in the upcoming year. Okay. Final question for today. Question number 20. إذا أحرمت الحائض بعمرة التمتع لاطمئنانها بطهرها قبل اليوم الثامن. If a woman entered the state of ihram of Umrah al-Tamattu, having satisfaction that she will be pure, she's in monthly period. If a woman in monthly period enters the state of ihram of Umrah al-Tamattu, having satisfaction that she will be relieved from her monthly period on the day, 8th day of the Hajj. However, so it was ihram of Umrah al-Tamattu. However, ولكن it continued. It did not stop on the 8th. It continued, okay? And she was not able to perform the Amal of Umrat al-Tamattu before the noon time of day of Arafah. So the question is here, so should she be renewing or converting her ihram now to Hajj al-Ifrad from the miqat? Okay? فهل عليها تجديد الإحرام لحج الإفراد? Does she have to go back to the miqat and renew her ihram there? He says, no, no need. لا حاجة إلى تجديد الإحرام. There's no need to perform, to renew her ihram. That means going back to miqat and this and that. So, بل تأتي بحج الإفراد. Rather, she performs the Hajj of Ifrad with same of ihram, same ihram, بنفس إحرامها الأول. The same, the first ihram. حيث يكون ذلك من باب الخطأ في التطبيق. Because this, whatever happened to her, whatever she believed, it was based on her error in application. So basically, when she knows the ruling and there's always error in application, so there's some kind of leniency in the rulings. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.